Hello everyone, this is CJNovo982 and today we're back for another brand new video, and I bet you didn't expect to see me talking about this, the day trips, as we're just a couple days out from the Old Firm game, the thing that is consuming our mind and driving us utterly mental. It's all we're thinking about, it's all we're looking and wanting to talk about. But just like the pigs and blankets are to the Christmas dinner, I've got an interesting little distraction, a wee starter for us to enjoy, and that is going to be the first Rangers rumour under the big baldy Belgian Clement, and his name is none other than Fabio Silva. And I know what he's like in terms of these rumour videos and everything like that. Some people like to wait till it's officially confirmed and hold in the shirt, but others like to discuss the actual player. And I thought before we get lost in the will he, won't he in terms of signing, let's actually kick the old tyres and have a look at what could be Phil Clement's first signing as Rangers manager, and an interesting striker who's had an interesting journey despite being only 21 years old. And as we go on and start with the player profile, we'll look at the numbers and stats and we'll discuss the competition for places. If you find yourselves enjoying the videos at any time, please consider hitting that like button or hitting that subscribe button, or if you could do both, that would be sensational. But Silva, it's going to be interesting. How interesting? Well, you just have to keep watching the video just to truly find out. But starting off with the basics, let's look at the player profile then, shall we? Fabio Silva is a 21-year-old Portuguese striker. We know how badly we need strikers at the football club, because all we have right now is Dessers, and everyone else is either injured or lammers, so we need something else to add some firepower to this squad, and it looks like we're starting to try to do that early, at least by bringing in the young, talented Portuguese striker. Now, this is normally the part I say right-footed or left-footed, but I think it's fair to say he's a modern-day footballer in that way. Where the fact is, you can't really tell what's he's strong and his weak foot. He's very talented, he's very skillful, he can hurt people for both sides of the angle, and he's absolutely lightning quick. Something I think we are needing in this Rangers team, more pace and more threat in behind, not only in terms of our league, but European football. If we want to add more threat and go on an interesting journey, this type of signing, this type of attribute, is exactly what's needed, as we've sort of lost that and losing the likes of the Kents, etc. etc. He's also 6'1", which is very, very nice and will help with the physicality side of the game, because one of the things that I'm seeing a little bit online now that the news is starting to break a little bit is he's too slight, he's going to get bullied. We need to let go of that nonsense, troops. Let's actually look at the players. It might not be Football Manager, might not be FIFA. Look at him. He's 6'1", and if you actually look at how he plays, he's no the dainty falling over type. A player who does get stuck in, he wins a lot, and these goals that he has scored in his career, there is a large percentage of them being on hustle plays and banging into defenders and trying to do that. So I think it'd be very, very lazy just to call him a technically gifted player. He does put himself about, and it's maybe one of the reasons Clement has identified this man and said aye to him, because he is very like Sima that way. He's got the gifts, he's got the technical ability, but he's a hard work grafter. And I think if you hear what Clement wants in terms of his players and what Clement wants from his team, it's that hunger and work rate, and the laddie certainly is that. But lightning quick, technically gifted, both foot, everything sounds sensational so far, and that truly is the positives. As he's a good link man, he can bring others into play, he's very clever with his touches, his back heels, and when it goes right for the laddie, he looks absolutely unreal. It's almost like when it all goes right, someone's willing to spend £35 million on the laddie, but it's just getting him there and getting him in the right positions and finding a team that suits his style of play. And that's when we're going to start to naturally drift into the numbers and stats, because his interesting career has genuinely took so many twists and turns despite only being 21. But to the numbers we go then, and he's looking a bit like James Bond's big brother, as he's 008 so far in terms of this season for Wolves, as he's played 8 games and he has 0 goals and 0 assists, which isn't exactly the biggest eye-opening, exciting tactics or exciting statistics. But to be fair to the laddie, he has been sitting behind Wang and Kuna, who both players have been great for Wolves this season, who have really started to turn it on, both of them scoring, both of them creating. And then you've got Pedro Neto before he ended up getting injured as well, being electrifying for them as well. So it has been limited opportunities for a laddie, and a lot of those 8 games, in fact nearly all of those 8 games, has been eating minutes, if you will, in terms of coming into this game, and he's picked up a couple yellow cards as well, which again shows he's not afraid to do the dirty graft. But moving away from just the Premier League statistics, in terms of the EFL Cup, he has played 2 games and he has his first goal for Wolves this season, which was great to see. Hopefully there's a lot more of them. I mean, if you just look at the EFL Cup, he averages a goal every 2 games. So when you start looking at everything else, that gets a little bit nippy. But let's move away from Wolves then, right? Because the Wolves thing came around after he burst onto the scene with some impressive performances for Porto. Despite being just 18 years old, Wolves identified that and said, that's who we want. And Wolves went ahead and broke their transfer record, paying 35, just shy of £36 million for an 18-year-old laddie who at that point had played just 15 games at the professional level. The money that English football's got is mental, eh? It's just funny money. It's like Wolfie Wall Street stuff. There's an 18-year-old playing 10 games, he's got 1 goal. Here's 50 million. It's mental. But he's obviously one of those funny money signings. And as you can imagine, when you invest so heavily in a young laddie like that, you're going to be patient because there is areas of the game he's had to touch up on and develop and get better and better. And to be fair, Wolves have given him opportunities as he's played 72 times in total for Wolves, grabbing 5 goals and 6 assists during that period, with 62 of those games being in the Premier League. This is a laddie who is 21 years old, having played 62 games in the most difficult league in the world. Say what you want about it, take your shots that you want. 21 with that amount of games in that level of league is a pretty damn impressive statistic, despite maybe his output no being the best. But again, he's not just an out-and-out striker, he's not just a number 9, he has played on the wings, and again, because of his work rate, because of his pace, because of the way Wolves play on that counter-attack with the full-backs, the guy's even played wing-back in a game just because of their style of play. So let's not look too much on the output so far, but let's be a little bit impressed at the amount of games that he's played at that high level at such a young age. Clearly there is something there, and that is why Wolves decided, you know what, let's give him a couple loans, let's give him a bit more first team experience and really see what this lad can go and develop and touch up other areas of his game. And that's what happened last season. And probably the most Rangers thing I could possibly ever say to you is his loans all happened last season, and they feature Dutch football and Belgian football. Yep, that is truly a Rangers thing right there, as he spent 6 months in Belgium and 6 months in Holland. And to be fair, I think it's his best football that he's played in terms of his career, as he got some genuine minutes in his belt and started to develop. It's probably just a shame for him he didn't get longer at the clubs, as every time he started to really hit in his stride, he then moved on to another, and Wolves wanted to try him at this league, touch up in this area and touch up in this area. But he did play a total of 51 games last season, so if you're worried about being injury prone or guys not going to play too much, this guy can play games, as he racked up 51 appearances for 2 clubs last season, in which he scored 16 goals, which is much nicer to see, by the way, and also grabbed a cheeky 6 assists as well, meaning he had 22 goal contributions in the 51 games, despite it being split over 2 clubs and having to identify and adjust to 2 teams, completely different tactics. That there, I can get behind. Everything else sort of scares me, you know what I mean? I start getting Lammers, warning signs, but when I look at that and I see how we play and I see his write-ups that he actually got, I say, right, there truly is a player in there, and he done a lot of growing up last season. Again, it's just unfortunate he's came in this season fully confidence and fully belief, and every other striker that Wolves have to have in their squad has just came out and fire and playing their best football of their career. So the wee lad, he's just been unlucky, but where it could be unlucky for him, it could be very lucky for us, because if he plays half as decent as he did last season, then we have a very good player. Because let's be honest, is this going to be any worse than what we've got in our books? It really isn't. Is it a punt? Absolutely, Trips. He's not exactly a bagsman. He's not a Shankland with goals after goal after goal after goal. He's no they that, but that's not seemingly what we're looking for right now in terms of this signing. Maybe we'll go and get a bagsman. Maybe we'll go and get a goal scorer, but we need more threat. And if you look at the areas and the attributes this laddie brings to his game, pace, the work rate, the creativity, the be able to link up the play, and when he does get a chance near the goal, he's actually scored some real screamers in his career. It certainly makes sense on paper. Let's just hope that translates onto the park. If you want an in-depth breakdown of how he done, by the way, in terms of putting the ball in the back of the net in both countries, he scored 7 goals in Belgium and the rest in Holland, which was actually not too bad turnaround, as he got really good plaudits and really good buzz around him, especially from his time at PSV, and started getting more positivity towards the laddie. And that's where I think the lazy comparisons towards a Sam Lammers has to go away to the wayside. Lammers is a 26-year-old player who has been struggling now for 4 or 5 years. We are bringing in a laddie, or apparently bringing in a young laddie, on a loan contract from Wolves, who is 21 years old, over 60 games in the Premier League in terms of experience, came in after his best season of his career, ready and just wanting some game time. And if you look at our strikers, and if you look at the state of our club going forward, he will be getting game time right here. So aye, the lazy comparisons and saying he's just this and this, it doesn't really make sense if you've got a young, hungry player who's on the back of his best career in terms of output in front of goal, and then you've got Lammers, who has been struggling and been on a downward slide for 5 years. So that's me addressing the comparisons, that's the numbers and statistics. All that's left today now is fire up and finish with the old football and CV. And again, despite being just 21 years old, he has 159 games under his belt, which is really impressive, with 32 goals during that run, 18 assists, and a fun little statistic for you, he's got 17 yellow cards. I know what the misconceptions about this laddie being this and this and this. Look at his game, look at his boot, he's nearly perfect for this league because he loves getting stuck in and picking up some yellows. We might just have Morelos' replacement in terms of yellow cards, and the Cantwell booked anytime bet might just be replaced if Big Silva is getting his chance. But that is it, ladies and gentlemen. That's his player profile, that's the football CV, that's the Sam Lammers comparison I'm seeing online, and the competition for places is very short and very sweet. We need more attackers in to this football club, and again, his ability to play on either wing with his pace, with his directness. When you look at how bad the right wing situation is at this football club, it's almost Scott Wright or bust right now. We're relying heavily on young Ross McCausland, so I think this drastically helps the right side of Rangers, but also bolsters and strengthens the lead in the line, the number 9 shirt in a Rangers team as of right now. Now, all that's left today is to give my thoughts and opinions on whether or not I believe this rumour to be true. Yes, it is. And again, this is big. This is Clement and Big Cop's first done. And it's been reported that the two of them, are one of the main reasons Silva's picked us over elsewhere, as apparently the likes of Celtic were interested in heavily pushing for the laddie, but the lads decided to come up here. And if it does turn out to be true, and if he is holding that Rangers shirt very shortly, I'll certainly get behind the laddie. Again, the history is there. Remember though, he is just 21 years old. Hopefully he can come out and do us a turn. That would be absolutely sensational, and I'm pretty excited to see if he does pull on the Rangers shirt where he actually plays. Is it going to be on the right? Are we going to have Silva on the right, Seymour on the left, and maybe the likes of Dessers leading the line before we sign another number 9? That's a lot better than the current situation we find ourselves in when looking at the right and seeing Ross and Scott Wright for the rest of the season. But that's all I've got to say. I know it's going to be a hot topic. I know people's going to voice their opinion on it. So let me know down in the comments section below what you think about Fabio Silva. Do you think he's the right type of signing? And again, is this punt, which is a 6 months loan punt, worth the gamble, considering where we are, the football club, and where we are in terms of injuries? For me, it's an absolute no-brainer. Getting someone with the talent and the pedigree of this laddie for buttons for 6 months to cover us whilst our big money signings, etc., all lying on an injury table, it makes complete sense as a football club, in my personal opinion. I just hope the punt actually works out. That would be nice. But what about you? Let me know your thoughts and opinions down there in the old comment section below. And as always, I've been CJ Nominee 2. Thank you so much for watching. All the best, and bye-bye.